to talk about today was $100,000. And if I had $100,000 right now, what would I be doing with it? And so, especially this is for all the newbies, because, I talk to so many people, and like typically people have like $50,000 or $100,000. I mean, that's typically what everybody has in order to get started in self-storage. Okay, there's a few of us that have more than $100,000, and there's a lot of us that have less than $50,000. If you have less than $50,000, then I highly recommend that you learn how to wholesale self-storage, or you find a partner that has money. All right. And so if you're one of those ones listening to me right now, then if you have less than 50 grand, because the truth is that commercial real estate is expensive. It's expensive. You got to think big. It's so funny. I got started in real estate investing in like 2010. And I was talking to a guy, and we were sitting he was sitting across from the table from me, and telling me about real estate, and I should get invested and get into real estate investing. It was he was like, and I couldn't think big, I couldn't think like that, because I just had never been put around that, And he was talking about, $50,000 and $100,000 checks that he was writing. And to me, I was just, like in awe. I was like, how are you doing that? That is just like, that's like impossible. Like to be, he's like, I'm writing like 50 and 100 grand checks all the time. And I was like, wow, that was like so weird. Like how that would be like, what is that? What would that be like to write 50 and $100,000 checks? And when I was talking to him, I vowed, I said, I am going to write 50 and $100,000 checks. I want to write a check that says like $100,000 and like pay somebody. And the truth is like, man, at one point I was doing so many rehabs, because we were doing like 20 to 30 rehabs in a year. I was paying $50,000 in insurance, general contractor insurance, a year. Could you imagine writing these checks out every month for just being like a general contractor for insurance? And and I started writing like really big checks. I was like massive, huge 20, 30, 40, $50,000 checks to contractors. Now, of course you want to get the check, right, for $50,000 or $100,000, but I was writing a lot of checks out to contractors and stuff for this much. But I got to the point where I could write like $50,000 and $100,000 checks out. And then I started, after a couple of years of doing that, I started receiving those checks too. So when you sell the houses, you would get like, $50,000 or $100,000 checks, so I would just get wires though, because like checks, they hold them for like weeks. But yeah, so like I started getting to that point where I could do that too as well. But 10 years ago, I could barely fathom doing that. Now, and a lot of people, it takes forever to save up $50,000 or $100,000. And the truth is, really, I mean, this is the one thing that I really, really, truly believe, and I hope you guys take this to heart, especially for like what's coming up in the next couple of years. But you have to learn how to have multiple streams of income. You have to have multiple streams of income. How many different ways are you making money? That's the question that you should be asking yourself. And when I started in 2010, that's another thing that the guy across from me was telling me. He was like, he's like, I really want to, he's like, I write a lot of big checks. And when he said that, of course, like that stuck in my head. But another thing that he said was multiple streams of income. He's like, I have several different ways of making money. Is how many different ways of, income do you have? And at that point, I had like just a W-2 job. I had one stream of income. That was it, And so I started thinking about that. And at that moment, when he told me that, I vowed to also start one new stream of income a year. One new stream of income a year. And so that was 10 years ago. And I probably have like 25, 30 different ways to make money right now. And so I want to just inspire you to start thinking about how many different ways are you making income? How many different ways are you doing that? Because especially over the next couple of years, those that have a lot of, different ways of making income, even a second or a third or a fourth, they're going to be the ones that are going to be a little bit safer than the ones that just have that one job, right? So, so we have obviously our 13 storage facilities, so that's like 13 different incomes right there, and and then all the different other ways that we make money. So I would really like to stress to be focusing on multiple streams of income for the next couple of years, and then start creating, the $50,000 or the $100,000 to get to that point, right? $100,000. So today I wanted to just talk about 100,000 because it's an easy number. You could multiply, you could substitute for 50 grand if that's what you have, or whatever, 50 grand or 100 grand, I think is a good number to work with. But I just wanted to get in, if I had 50 or $100,000 right now, and I wanted to get into self-storage and I wanted to invest in self-storage, what would I do? And so I'm going to kind of just go through that today and just see what you guys think. And you guys, if you have any ideas or questions, just post them. Ariel Lynn is here and she'll post, especially for everybody that's in like, on the other, YouTube and Facebook and all this, she'll post her questions and stuff so I can, I can find them. And we already have questions like, can you 1031 a storage facility? Yes. Residential property? Yes. So questions like that. But we'll get into all the different questions as well too. So post those as well.